What's up guys, Steve here. Welcome back to my channel. We're going over your rental car fleet and how to make it run as smoothly as possible. So today I'm going to get into the top things that I look into and kind of give my advice for when you're looking to get into a market. So if you guys are new to all this, this is how I work with my Turo clients, my own fleet as well. But basically the questions that I ask myself, as well as oncoming clients that are basically trying to figure out how they want to get into this market and which cars work the best. So I will give you guys my formula of how I figure out which car is going to do the best in your market. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so freebie here right off the bat. Make sure you guys read that terms of service. Hardly anybody does. Make sure you do. It's going to save you tons in the long run for making claims, for handoffs, for all this stuff. I know a big majority of you guys will not do this. You'll end up checking on YouTube or Facebook or any one of those groups to find out the questions to those answers of the terms of service. But definitely just know this stuff. Like, it'll set you way above the rest that are out there. And if you're searching on YouTube or Facebook or whatever you guys got, you're bound to get the wrong info. So go straight to the source, okay? I know that's a given, but that's where you should go. But that's basically the freebie of where you guys should do with all that stuff. Make sure you read that terms of service. Okay, so now that we got rid of that freebie and just kind of out of the way that you guys know you should be doing, I want you guys to figure out and really ask yourself, what kind of check-ins am I gonna do? Am I gonna do in-person, peer-to-peer, here's the keys, here's everything, all the functions of the car, this and that and the third? Are you gonna do that kind of check-in, or are you gonna do remote where you just put a lockbox on there, or you have the capability to unlock the car from wherever you're at and do that kind of check-in? I can tell you right off the bat, if you're doing the peer-to-peer in-person check-in, it's gonna be a lot more time consuming because I don't care who you are. You get to the location, they either show up late, have to cancel, or you end up just spending the next 15, 20, 30, 45 minutes talking to the customer, your renter, about Turo, about all the cars, this and that. It just wastes time. Unless you're doing this full-time, they're coming to you, you have an office and all that stuff, and time's not an issue for you, then cool, go that route. Do what works best for you. Also figure out where you're gonna park these cars and where you're gonna do these handoffs. Are you gonna do them in a parking lot? Are you gonna do them outside your house? I wouldn't really recommend it, especially if you start getting bigger in a fleet. Because yes, I know these people can find you just off your registration, off your license plate, all that stuff. But the last thing you want is a bunch of random people coming around your house. And then you'll get the next thing of, hey, can I leave my car here while I use your car to go on vacation or go drive over here, this and that? It's just all bad. Find a place where you guys can be away from your house so that way you don't have people coming around your house. Just make it easy, but do whatever's comfortable for you guys. Figure out in your market if it's going to be feasible for you to deliver. Do you want to deliver? Are you close to an airport? How do you want to handle this? Are you gonna do free delivery, which I would not ever recommend because time is money and these people are using your time. So you should be compensated for it. That's the way I look at it. And with that, you're also undercutting yourself and everybody else that's out there, just trying to get that booking. So run this like a business. Figure out what you're gonna do. Are you going to deliver? Are you not gonna deliver? Just stick with whatever it is and basically don't bend on it. I will tell you that you can make more money if you do deliver, but just figure it out. This is all on you. Figure out what you wanna do with your business here. Okay, so now you're to the point where you're like, sweet, I found a car. I wanna go after it, let's do this. Hold up 1 second and figure out what your payments are gonna be, if you're gonna have any payments or if you're paying cash, what your registration is gonna be, what repairs and maintenance are going to look like for this car. Figure out for the year what all your expenses on this one particular vehicle is gonna be. I don't even care about your time, anything like that, just figure out repairs, maintenance, registration, insurance, anything that's gonna be a cost to this vehicle, and have that all in the back of your mind so you know exactly what you need bare minimum to make this car run and operate throughout the year. And we're not even gonna get into depreciation and all that stuff. This is just bare minimum what you need to make this car operate. And figure out from there right off the bat, can I even afford this if things go completely south and it doesn't run out? Now you know you're covered. Let's get into the next one. So now you're covered on the vehicles aspect of it. So let's get into, is this car actually gonna work in my market? Okay, so this is what I do when I wanna put a car in the market. And this is just how I do it. There's tons of other ways to do it. There's a million ways to skin a cat, okay? I get it. You guys have your opinions. You have things that work for you. I'm just telling you what works for me. It's extremely conservative. Figure out what works best for you and go after it. Basically, what I do is I pick the car that I want. I go into the Turo app, and you're gonna be picking these cars that have the highest amount of trips on them, okay? The ones that have been on the platform the longest, they just have a lot of trips. They obviously know what they're doing. So 5 minimum, highest amount of trips, And if you can do more than 5, by all means, definitely do that. The more information you know, the better off you're gonna be getting into this. Okay, so now you got these cars with the most amount of trips on them. I want you to go back to the very first review that they have. It may take a while. You're gonna have to scroll and click and add and whatever. You gotta scroll down to the bottom, find the very first trip. Now, go to the present day and figure out how many trips that is. So you're gonna take that number of trips, say it's 140, 150 trips, divided by, they've been on the platform for the past 14 months. So figure out that. That's gonna tell you how many trips on average that car is gonna give you throughout the month. This will vary depending on what kind of cars you're getting into. So if you're getting into luxury, you may be more of a weekend warrior. If you're getting into these cars that are just strictly commuters, they may be longer trips. Like my Fiesta, it's been out for the past 2 months, 1 renter. That only counts as 1 trip. So you're gonna have to kind of take that with a grain of salt depending on which cars you're getting into. If it's a car that's a little bit more higher luxury or that exotic category, you may only be getting 2-3 days out of that week with that rental each time. Whereas if it's a luxury, you might get a week rental out of it. But if it's a commuter car, you're definitely getting a week to a month out of it, or 2 weeks, whatever it is. But that's a good way to figure out how many trips on average this car is doing, and basically kind of what kind of money this car is actually pulling. So after you get the average trips figured out and dialed in, I want you to go a month ahead or so, and in the middle of the week, this is where I come up with my super conservative numbers, book this car for about 3 to 4 days. This is gonna give you the price per trip that this car is doing. And on average, usually trips, depending on what kind of cars, like I said, on average, it's about 3 to 4 days. So now you know that this car, okay, it's gonna cost you about $250 for the weekend. And you know, based off the cars that have the higher trip counts, how many times this car is gonna be going out a weekend and what it's gonna actually pay you per trip, per week, per month. And now you can break down basically what that car has made that person over the past year, 14 months, however many months that their car has been on the platform. Now you have a rough idea of what your car is going to make you. So hopefully this helped out somewhat. I know it's as clear as mud. You might have to go back and try and figure out what I'm saying. I kind of went over a little bit fast. If you guys are more curious about this, definitely check the description below. I can help you guys out with this. I also have the course and I go through everything just like this from start to finish, how to get your fleet running as smoothly as possible. With our previous fleet, we had over 50 cars, so there's nothing that we haven't seen that you guys are coming across. I promise you that. If you guys ever need any help, like I said, check the description. The course down there gives you this as well as everything else to make it go from beginning to well beyond what I'm at right now, but it basically gives you the foundation of how to figure all this stuff out, as well as saving you hundreds and even thousands of dollars in mistakes that we've made in the past. It just helps expedite everything for you guys. So definitely check that out below. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and before I get out of this video, I want to leave this one last thing with you guys. If you guys are getting into this, or you're getting into any side business, or you're trying to get into anything whatsoever, and you start telling people about it, and you're starting to get a lot of naysayers and all that, stop telling people about it. Focus on what you want. Focus on what your goal is and go after it. Don't worry about everybody else. Everybody's got an opinion, okay? You're gonna see it whether you're mowing your lawn or you're trying to run a multi-million-dollar company. I don't care who you are. Everybody's gonna have an opinion. And if you start making a better situation for yourself compared to what all these other people are doing, I guarantee you're gonna have haters. So block it out, figure out what you want, and go after it. Like I said, hope this helped out. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff. We will catch you guys on the next one. And once again, if you guys need help, definitely check the description. Later, y'all.